Hello, my name is Matt Zuchowicz and I'm the Director of the Educational Technology Services Department here at the Santa Barbara County Education Office. I'm going to focus today on the English Language Arts Common Core Standards, and I'll put together a brief presentation to share some different ideas with you. There's, for the first time, educational technology interwoven into these standards in a way that's very different. And in particular, I'm going to take a look at some of the anchor standards. And these are standards that go all the way from kindergarten to 12th grades for our students in order to prepare them to be career and college ready, college and career ready. So you can see, beginning here with the speaking and listening anchor standard, and that has to do with integrating and evaluating information in diverse media. And those media includes visual media, quantitative media, and oral media. In addition, here's another anchor standard number 5 for speaking and listening, where students are asked to make strategic use of digital media and using visual displays of data to not only express information, but also to enhance understanding of presentations they're doing. Also, in the reading literature anchor standard number 7, looking at evaluating and integrating content that's being presented in different formats. So we're going to take a look at a resource that we offer through our county education office here. It's called California Streaming, and we're going to talk about how this particular resource can be used to meet some of those standards. So I'm going to focus on anchor standard number 2, and to remind everybody, this is looking at integrating and evaluating information in diverse media. And these are text exemplars and sample performance tasks. So let's take a look at that. It's a pretty long document, and you can see it starts here with the K1 text exemplars, and you can see there's some stories, there's some poetry, there's some read aloud stories, there's some read aloud poetry, there's a lot of informational text, read aloud informational text, and you can see here it keeps going with the grade 2-3, similar text information, then 4-5, and so on and so forth, all the way up to 12th grade. So what we did is we looked at some particular examples. So if we go back to the K1 examples here, you can see one example is here, Dr. Seuss, Green Eggs and Ham. And a quick way to have access to that is if I go to the California Streaming account, and I'm going to access that by going through our portal, which is how our users access this. And I go in there and I can do a search, and I'm going to do a search for green eggs and ham. And what teachers could do is they could have the students read read the text, and then watch this streaming video that you can see here that's a reading of the story. You get the idea. And then another example, if we go back to the appendices, and there's a lot of these examples, so I'm not going to show every single one, but an example for the 2nd, 3rd grade text, and again, I'm just scrolling down, looking at that, there is, in the informational text, there is a great story, a great text that's called So You Want to Be a President, and it's one of the text exemplars. And again, a student would be able to log in and then watch this particular video version of this book. In the 6th through 8th grade text exemplars, one of them is Frederick Douglass's autobiography. And students are expected to read that particular autobiography, the narrative of the life of Frederick Douglass, an African slave, written by himself. And students would be able to go in, do a search for Frederick Douglass, and pull up, here's a video series that has to do with famous African Americans. And in this series, there's a number of different segments, which is one of the things we really like about California Streaming. You can see here there's 12 different segments. I'm going to stop that so it doesn't play. And one of the segments, which is 1 minute and 35 seconds long, which is great because it's a really targeted piece that has to do with Frederick Douglass. And so students would be able to click on that and then would be able to watch a piece on Frederick Douglass. So I've given you a couple of quick examples to show you how teachers and students are able to use California streaming to access video that helps support the Common Core standards. I'm hoping that you found this information useful. And again, the #1 recommendation to prepare students for the future, start using video.